Alright guys, welcome back. Just a little video I wanted to do here on this new trailer I got. So, I've done a lot of work to it. But I wanted to show just a couple things to look out for, you know, when you're getting these trailers. This is a JP Trailers, I believe. Yeah, JP Trailers. Now, I'm going to say, I looked at a lot of different trailers, and this one was the cheapest. Now, I'm going to show you why here in a few minutes, and then I'll go over, you know, what I did, and I'm still waiting for some other parts to come. But just some things to look out for when you're looking at these trailers. So it did not come with the lights, the box, the solar panel, the winch. I put a motorized, just off of Amazon. I put a motorized up and down, and then I got the battery for it in here, and then solar panel to charge the battery, so because it sits a lot, it's not plugged in all the time. So yeah, I added that, and just to make life easier, really. You don't really have to have that. And then I added the tie downs here. I put one there, I put one over there, I put one in the, where is it? One in the back corner over there, and one over there. And then that's for the car. And then I also did, on the deck, I put 3 coats of stain on that, on the wood. And then later on I said, oh, you know what, let me put some littler ones up front, in case I have something smaller in here, like a ATV or whatever, I don't have to go all the way to the back. So I did that, and then I did, I got covers for the tires off of Amazon, because like I said, it sits for so long in between. Like, now that I have the race car, I'll probably be using this a little bit more, but my other trailer, the car didn't fit on it. It was too small. It was a 14-foot, more like an equipment trailer. This is a 18-foot, and it's got the little beaver tail, which makes the ramps, the angle, nicer to drive up and on. You don't scrape or anything. And then, I added locks down there for the ramps. But I just wanted to show a couple of things on these trailers. So the first, when I initially looked at it, it was great. I didn't, I was just like so excited. I found one at a cheap price, and I was like, oh sweet, this is like, because all the other ones were like $5,000 and up. This one was like, I think $3,800. I was like, ooh, that's a pretty good price, I was like, it needs some things, whatever. I'll make it how I like it. So I wasn't worried about it. But then when I was wiring this stuff, so I had to move this. The breakaway system box was back here, but I had to move it out, so I could fit this box in. And, well, when I was looking at the wiring, I was like, what the hell do these guys do? So they used, I'm going to try to find it, but they used, I didn't even get all of them done yet, just because it was so hot and I wanted to get it done. Oh, here we go. So they used these, I don't know what they're called actually. I think they're called like Scotch lock connectors, but they use these, it has like that metal, fork in there that like the wire gets pinched in between it, and then there's one here and one next to it, and then you can pinch it down, and that's how it makes the connection. Well, those are, not the greatest, especially not outside, because they're very susceptible to corrosion. because they're not watertight. So they have every single light hooked up like that. Like, I mean, even this one where these are more made so that you could, like, if you had an existing wire, like up in here, this is kind of like what they're made for. So you have like an existing wire. I'm trying to get, and you tap into that existing wire to get power to come out. They're not really, you know, you don't really use them to connect an end to an end. Why would you do that? You should just put a butt splice on there. Like, this is ridiculous. So you notice all the dielectric grease in there. That's from me. I did that because all the wires are so tight. I'd have to rewire the whole entire trailer to change these all to butt splices. So I changed all the ones up here because I had slack. And I changed the taillight ones because I had slack to butt splices with, you know, heat shrink tube. But like all of these little lights, these lights here and those lights there on each side are still like this. So I just opened them up, filled it with dielectric grease, pinched it closed, and shoved it in all the ends just to keep the, you know, corrosion and the water, or keep the water out of there, to keep your corrosion out. But, you know, that's one thing that I really didn't like about it. And then the other thing is, like, the welding on this is meh. I mean, it looks okay from up here, but if you go underneath, like the other side, so this is cut, okay, on both sides. Well, actually, it doesn't, it's just open right here. This is just a thing. But it's cut, they bend it, and then they weld it. Well, if you look underneath, I'll try to get in there and show you. It looks like crap. Let's see here. Here we go. You know what I mean? Like, that's fucking terrible. So I'm going to have to come in here. I'm going to grind this out and just re-weld it. And then I'll probably put, you know, a stitch here, you know, another one here, and so on, every couple inches down the way. And then all these angle pieces here. Let me see if I could zoom in for you. Hold on. Enhance. There we go. And then, like, in there too, I'll put a couple more welds in there on both sides. Unenhance. And then, you know, I'm sure it's, you know, I'm sure it would work, but, you know, I want to do a little bit better. And then also I'm going to coat the underside of this. I'll coat with, what the hell is it called? Surface Shield. I'll probably use Surface Shield or from PB Blaster or fluid film, whatever I have more of. And then also, none of the steel underside is painted either. You could already see it's starting to surface rust a little bit, and this is a brand new trailer. So they painted all the outside, they painted the top, they painted like everything you could kind of see, but they didn't paint anything underneath. Here, we'll look at the front too. You can see the hole from where the original crank leg was. It was right there. And it pissed me off that they just burned a hole in there and welded the leg to it instead of bolting it, even though it has that, like where I put the front leg right there, it has the holes. Why would you not just, I didn't understand that either. That was kind of asinine. But yeah, and then like I said, and then up in here too, like it's not, you know, no weld there, barely any welds, you know, like it's all welded from the top, which is bullshit. You know, they should have a couple underneath for rigidity, in my opinion. So I'm gonna do that. It's real hard to I hate laying down and welding. So, and like this wiring was not too bad to get to, because what I did was I put my hitch on the front bucket of my skid loader, and I raised this all the way up as high as I could get it, which is about pretty high, like 6 feet. And I was able to walk underneath here and get to this, but these other connections were a bitch to get to. So, and then I ran out of butt splices, so I ran out of butt splices, and then the wiring was so tight through here, and I didn't have enough wiring to reach everything, so I was like, I'll just fill it with cream for now and it should be good. And then I got a winch, got my synthetic rope winch, you know, just a cheap Amazon special here, nothing crazy. Hopefully I'll never have to use that winch, but you know, at least I'll have it. And then I got a nice cover for it, keep the sun off of it. Same with your tires, keep the sun off of them, they'll last a hell of a lot longer. Keep it from dry rotting and shit. And then another cool thing that I made was on my mower here. You see I made this rack. I made this out of like just some shitty box tubing that I had laying around. Try to get a good shot here. And I made it so that this bolts. Now this is only one bolt. This isn't, you know, you're not going to pull a loaded trailer with this lawnmower. But it comes in really handy for moving it around in tight spots. So yeah, I could hook it to the truck, move it wherever I want it, but I have to get it, I'll show you, I have to get it down this driveway, because I'm not going to leave it there. Once my, I bought one of them round cylindrical covers that covers up the whole entire ball hitch and locks your chains inside of it so that nobody could steal it. I also put a tracker on it, but I'm waiting for that to come in. So until that comes in, I don't want to leave it down here, you know, where anybody could just back up and take it, or, you know, spend the time and cut off locks and whatever. So I'm waiting for that to come. But I have to get it down this driveway, which I know it looks kind of wide, but trust me, it barely fits. In this section. Now up here by where the fence is, it gets wider, so it's nicer. But I have to get it, I could put it, you know, this is my gate here. This opens. It's a 16-foot wide gate. This opens, and then I can back it in there. Well, sounds easy, except when you have the trailer plus my pickup truck, the front of the truck hits into here. It either the truck hits here or the trailer hits over here. You can't, I've tried for an hour to get it to back it in here, and I could not get it. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just use the skid loader. So I got the skid loader out, and then I did the same. I had the same problem with the skid loader. I got it in a little bit further, but I still couldn't maneuver it around. So I was like, this is ridiculous. And then I was looking up those little like tank tracky trailer movers that, you know, it's just like a ball, and they're electric and remote controlled. They're like $1,000. I was like, I'm not spending that. That's crazy. I was like, I'll just try to make something. So I was originally going to use, what are they called? A snowblower, and just cut the, you know, take the snowblower part off, and then put my little contraption on that. And then I was thinking to myself, well, I got this fucking self-propelled lawnmower that I use all the time, runs great. I'll just put it on the front of that, and that'll work. And it does. It works excellent. The only issue I have is it goes in there very nice, but pulling the trailer back out, when I try to come up this little hill, you can't, I mean, it's hard to tell, but this is a slight hill. And when the tire hits this little, here, enhance. When the tire hits this little bump in the asphalt, by the time the tire hits that, the tire for the lawnmower is in this like real soft dirt right here, and it just burns out. So I can't push the trailer up. But if I go all the way to the end of the road with it, turn around, and pull it up, then it works. Because then the mower is on the pavement, and I can get up over this hump. So that's kind of the only drawback, you know, because the weight, the tongue weight of the trailer is on the front of the lawnmower, not over the drive wheels, which is kind of terrible. But it does work. I mean, it's a pretty heavy lawnmower, but the trailer is like 1,600 pounds, so it's a big weight difference here. So, yeah, if I had something with tracks, I would definitely be better. But I just used, like, this cost me nothing. I had everything. All it cost me was a couple hours of welding and cutting, and I'm okay with that. It works for now, and that's what I'm going to use. So, just some things to look out for when you're looking at trailers, and you know, little things like this are, you know, come in very handy if you're trying to move things around in a tight spot like I am. I might, so like I said, I'm still waiting for the lock for the cover for that, and so I put these lights up here on a switch. Let's see, and they're really bright. The only thing is, like, if I'm loading the car up at night, I think I should have put them down here. I might go into this and, you know, put it off the side, and so it gets underneath the car. That way it's a little bit easier to see, to hook up your, you know, straps and such. And then I might, because I ordered a 4-pack of those lights off Amazon. They were pretty cheap too. And I might put, like, maybe down here or over here. I don't know. I got to look around and see. I still have 2 left, but for reversing at night, because without anything on it, my reverse lights on the truck, and if I turn those on, that I put on, are even better. You can see perfectly. But with the car on here, you can't see shit backing up at night. I mean, you can see, like, this part of the trailer, but you can't really see where the wheels are going, and you can't see anything behind it. So I might try to light up the back a little bit, just so I can see a little bit better at night. Like I said, at the house here, it's not bad. Like, if I'm coming home late, I'll probably just back it in the driveway. My spotlight up there will turn on, so I'll be able to see no problem. But out at the track, loading up, I'll be fine, like I said, because they have lights. But if I want to, like, put anything away at night or do anything, and, you know, where I'm not by these lights, it's going to suck. I'm going to have someone with a flashlight helping me, so I'd rather just have the lights, and at least I'll have, you know, at least they'll be on there. But yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to go over. I was pretty happy with the way that thing turned out, and it's working pretty good. So I didn't get a chance to do any racing this weekend. We had a camping trip planned, of course, on the nicest weekend of the year. We went camping, which was great for camping, but, you know, no testing to be done on the car yet, because it rained every other weekend that we got rained out, so I couldn't do any testing on the car. And then it's been so miserably hot during the day that I just couldn't get anything done. So, I mean, I got some stuff. Like I said, I did that, but that was easy because I put it in the garage. And then I worked on this early in the morning, and then later in the afternoon, like after 5 o'clock, the sun is, like, over them trees, so everything is shaded here, everything's shaded in the back, so it's not too bad out. So I've been playing the sun, playing the rain, trying to get as much done as I can, and it's been working out okay. But like I said, I haven't had a chance to do any racing or testing on the car because of the weather. And but yeah, stay tuned. Hopefully this weekend I'll be able to go to the track and get some stuff done, and get some good footage of the car going down and seeing what it does. Hopefully everything works out this time, and then at least if not, if something happens bad, now I have my own trailer. I can haul the thing back, and you know, because before I was driving the car to the track, racing it, driving back home. It's an hour each way, which is not a big deal, but when it's 95 degrees out and I still have yet to mess with the air conditioning lines, it's all I got left, which I'm starting to mess with right now, and get some other parts ordered. But it's just miserable sitting in that car with all that heat, you know, with the hot air plus the heat of the motor, and it kind of sucks. So now I got the trailer. If I break something, boom, winch it on, we're heading home. I don't have to wait for someone to come pick me up now. And but hopefully that doesn't happen. You know, we got better parts now. I think we'll be good. But stay tuned, and I'll try to get out another video next week of this weekend's. Hopefully this weekend we can do some testing. Like I said, it depends on the weather. So far the weather looks good, so fingers crossed. Everything looks, you know, good. We should be able to do some testing. So that's it for today.